make a move in the ring. You can hit me with a word you fling.
What's up, everybody? This is Tom Taylor with South China Morning Post. I'm joined this morning by the former UFC bantamweight champion and an executive over at One Championship, the one and only Miesha Tate. Miesha, it's always great to speak with you. How's life over in Singapore? How's everything?
Well, I think considering that there's a global pandemic going on, Singapore is a pretty peaceful place. It's going pretty good over here. COVID cases are very low and really not much to complain about, except the fact that I'm kind of stuck, right? Like Singapore is so small, and I think I'm used to a lot of space. Like being from America, I kind of miss just going on a road trip and doing something like that, you know. But I definitely have to appreciate all the great attributes that Singapore has, like the safety and the low amount of COVID cases.
Going a little stir crazy over there?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think when I joined One Championship, you know, one of the biggest perks to my job was going to be traveling Asia, right? Getting to see all the cool places that I wouldn't maybe have an opportunity to otherwise, you know, Vietnam, Thailand, China, all these amazing places, Japan. And it just really kind of sucks right now that we have to be so stuck. But I think everybody kind of feels that, you know, in some form. We're all kind of a little bit isolated, but it's definitely forced the creative juices to get going, right? I think what here with One Championship, like what we've had to do to create great content and continue to put that out, you know, it's been interesting, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, that actually leads perfectly into my next question. I mean, you guys have found a way to get the show back on the road, so to speak. You've promoted a few events in Bangkok over the last couple of weeks, another one today. As a fan, it's very exciting to have One Championship back. As a member of the One Championship team, I'm guessing it must feel, you know, very gratifying, exciting for you as well, correct?
It absolutely does. I'm very excited that we can continue to create live content, right? And that we've been able to do that safely. Because I mean, I think we could have done it sooner, but we didn't want to risk people's health. We didn't want to do it without the right precautions in place and really try to make sure that we had everything, all the T's crossed and the I's dotted, and everybody, you know, safety. That's just so important to us. Safety is really important. But yes, we do. We have, we've had live events going. We have another one coming up tonight. I'm very excited about that. So we're doing good things, and that's all good, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a very exciting card tonight, headlined by another Stamp Fairtex fight. She'll be defending her atomweight Muay Thai title, but she's also been making some real headway in her MMA career. She's now 5-0, if I'm not mistaken, and she's amassed that record in a fairly quick period. What do you think of the progress she's made as a mixed martial artist in such a short time?
Stamp Fairtex she is phenomenal. When you talk about, you know, the name of the event tonight is A New Breed, and I really believe that's just particularly fitting of Stamp Fairtex, because that's exactly what she is. You know, I would expect somebody coming from Muay Thai or coming from a strictly a striking background to have some clear holes in their game that's like really stands out, even if they're not fighting necessarily the best. But I'll tell you what I've seen from Stamp is she doesn't make a lot of mistakes, even though she may not be, you know, the most well-versed person in MMA, as she's relatively new to it. When I see her defend takedowns, when I see her move on the ground, you know, I look for what I would expect a novice in the ground would be. And I don't see it in her, which is so crazy. It blows my mind. She's extremely athletic. She doesn't second guess herself. She moves well, obviously on the feet, but where I'm really impressed with her is on the ground. I just think that she knocks it out of the park. She's one of those athletes that just figures it out. You know, I could compare her to a GSP who never wrestled, didn't grow up wrestling, didn't wrestle in college, you know, but you watch him fight. And if you didn't know anything about him, you'd bank on the fact that this man has wrestled for a really long time. Stamp's one of those. she's in that category. She is a new breed, and she brings an element to martial arts that is special. And I think that Stamp is special. I think her future is going to be extraordinary.
Mm-hmm. Well, it certainly seems like she's training with the right people. One of those people, of course, is Denise Zamboanga, who's also on the card. Denise was linked to a fight with Angela Lee for a little while there. And then obviously this pandemic took hold and ruined the fun for everybody. She's had to take another fight in the interim. Great matchup, and I don't want to look past it. But I mean, what do you make of Denise as a potential future title challenger for Angela Lee?
I think Denise is another great one. She's somebody that I've talked about, and I think it's obvious Angela Lee is phenomenal. It's obvious Zhang Jingnan. These are people that these are women that you're aware of. Somebody you may not be aware of, who I think is a future contender, potentially a future champion, is Denise Zamboanga, because she has this something special, something that you can't, it's not tangible. I talk about Stamp's skill set, and she is just incredible, but Denise has something that's unique to her in that I think it's her passion, her tenacity, her heart, her determination, her underdog status. Maybe that's what it is, is that she's consistently the underdog, but she consistently performs like a champion. And I think that when you see that in somebody who's continually underestimated and is able to harness that and use it to become motivation and drive her, I think that is really special. And I think that she will use that to eventually probably one day become a champion.
Mm-hmm. Well, she has a very bright future. There's been some debate as to, who should be next for Angela between Stamp and Denise. Now, of course, they're training partners. It's not like they're butting heads and squabbling with each other over who's going to get the next shot. But fans seem to be a little bit divided as to who should get the next shot at Angela. How do you think they both match up with Angela? And is there one you'd like to see get the title shot before the other?
They're both incredible women. And look, I think Denise clearly has more experience in MMA. So, and Chatri said after her last victory, she again was an underdog. She wasn't supposed to win that fight. She had less experience, but she did. And he said that, she will be next in line. But then Stamp has made a valid argument as to why she really could be a number one contender. I would go with Denise if it were up to me, which it's not. But if I had my druthers, I would say Denise. She's more experienced in MMA, and she's just special in that element that I told you, like she's always the underdog, right? And then I think Stamp Fairtex, as she gains more experience training on the ground and everything like that, I think she's a close second. I would be okay with either one. I think they're both valid contenders.
Mm-hmm. Well, it certainly seems like they'll both get the opportunity eventually, and both could be future champions. Who knows? But in other one championship news, you guys have recently entered into a partnership with Ali Abdelaziz and Dominance MMA, which is very exciting. We've already seen a few Dominance MMA fighters make the move to one. There was Marcus Almeida, Amir Ali Akbari. Are you excited about this deal? I mean, is this just going to cause a tidal wave of new talent in one championship? What's this deal going to look like?
Ali is a friend of mine, and I have yet to talk to him about this, but we've trained together. He trains at Extreme Couture, where I used to train when I was living back stateside. And what I do know about Ali is he's one of the best managers in the business, and he's tenacious, and he has a lot of great talent, and he has an eye for talent as well. So I really believe that anybody, whether it's somebody you're familiar with who already has a name value or somebody that is a fresh face and just coming into the sport, if they're managed by Ali, chances are they're pretty damn good and that they're going to make a name for themselves. So of course I'm excited about that. Ali has really some of the best talent, and he has a very large talent pool as well. So I think anybody that Ali is bringing is going to have some serious value.
Mm-hmm. Shifting gears a bit, I'd like to kind of ask you about a few things happening in the larger MMA industry because, you have such interesting opinions and insights on these things. Specifically, I wanted to ask you about Daniel Cormier's retirement. Now, obviously, his final fight there with Stipe didn't go the way he planned, but he's clearly still one of the best in the world, clearly still on top of his game, and he decided to retire anyway. As a fighter who kind of, retired under similar circumstances yourself, do you have any thoughts on the way that DC made his exit from the sport?
I think DC did it pretty perfectly, to be honest. I think it would be everyone would like to leave this sport on a win, but that's so much easier said than done because when you're winning, it's hard to walk away. But I think the fact that he's at peace with it, he feels good about it, I feel good about it. And I don't feel like he's shorting us. I don't feel like the man hasn't left us with an incredible legacy. He's definitely one of the greatest of all time to do it. And it was a great fight and I'm okay with it. I think that he's happy and I'm happy for him. So I think he did it right.
Great. Another fighter who has kind of floated the idea of retirement recently is Amanda Nunes. Now, of course, she's since accepted a fight with Megan Anderson, which is going to be a great fight, I think. but she sort of suggested that she's happy with what she's accomplished thus far. She's interested in doing other things. Of course, she's got a baby on the way. Mm-hmm. What do you think? I mean, it seems like she's got a lot left to give in the sport. Would you be disappointed if she hung up the gloves? Would you understand? Where do you stand on that one?
I think fighters have got to do what's right for them. It's a very individual experience. And for her, if she feels like it's the right time, it's without question, it's the right time, whether we want it or not. And what I could see happening with Amanda is her taking some time, quote unquote, retiring, enjoying some time with her baby that's going to be in this world soon, and her wife, and letting the sport kind of develop, because she has ripped through 2 divisions. There's not really anybody left. I mean, we're talking about Megan Anderson. I feel like this is, put in a warm body. That's it. I mean, I don't really see a way that Megan Anderson could win this fight. And I don't really see right now a standout viable contender in either division. So if she continues to fight, where does she get the motivation to test herself to extreme limits? She's already beaten the greats and dismantled 2 divisions. So perhaps if she retired, took some time off, enjoyed that, let the divisions kind of get exciting again, she could come back. And that's what I think it'd be great on both ends, right? Because she get to take some time off and enjoy her family, which I can, speak to. It's a very exciting time in your life. And if she's fortunate enough to be able to take the time off and enjoy that, I say go for it. And then hopefully she can come back and stir up the division once it's a little bit more exciting again.
It really is amazing the way she sort of clear cut these 2 divisions and just taking everybody available. But if she were to retire after this Megan Anderson fight, hypothetically, what would you say her legacy in this sport is? I mean, you fought her, better than most of us how good she is. That's probably, I don't envy you that actually, but what would you say her legacy in this sport is if she did decide to hang up the gloves soon?
She's the greatest female fighter of all time, in my opinion. She beat me. She beat Ronda. She beat Cyborg handedly. And, she's something special. And she really, I can tell you how hard she hits. You feel like you're being hit by a straight up man. So she's so talented, so incredible, so impressive in her performances, and not just her performances, but her ability to finish. She's just really a hell of a woman. And I think if she hung it up now, like I would have no qualms with that. I get it. I mean, she's done it all. Like she's beaten everywhere. What does she have left to prove? She has nothing left to prove. I guess that's the argument right now. But I'd still probably like to see her come back at some point after, like I said, we get the divisions get more exciting and some contenders are kind of formed or a new champion. I think that would be great, but she has nothing left to prove.
Definitely. She's accomplished so much. Just a few more questions for you, Miesha, before I let you get back to your morning over there. We've talked about some fighters that are potentially leaving the sport. One fighter who might be coming back after a lengthy retirement is Georges St-Pierre, my fellow Canadian, and a man you referenced earlier in this interview, comparing him to Stamp Fairtex. What do you think about that? He's been kind of flirting with the idea of coming back to fight Khabib. Good idea, bad idea, exciting idea. Where do you stand on that one? Super
exciting. We won't know if it's a good idea or a bad idea until it happens. So I think that's why it's so exciting. And I mean, for me, Georges St-Pierre is one of my all-time favorite fighters. I think he encompasses exactly what it means to be a martial artist. And I'm a huge fan. So would I like to see him come back? Absolutely. And I was really impressed what he was able to do after such a long layoff and come back and fight Bisping. Now, granted, Khabib Nurmagomedov, I think, is at a whole different level. I mean, he is, wow. I mean, that man is incredible what he's been able to do. So I think it would be a really big challenge for GSP. I would be likely to say that I don't necessarily think that GSP would win that fight, but I think he could make a compelling argument. And that's what I'm here for. As long as the fights are competitive and good, I'm not tied to one person winning. I just want to see good fights. And I'd love to see GSP go at it again.
Definitely. It would be a huge fight for MMA, and it's certainly a huge fight for Canada. Last question before I let you go, Miesha. Big fight in Bangkok tonight. Obviously, you're not on the ground in Thailand. I'm sure you'd love to be there, feeling a little cooped up. Yeah. But I mean, what would you say this card has in store for fight fans? Why is this one that people should tune in for?
Well, people like striking and generally even in martial arts, right? Everyone loves a good fight that can take place on the feet. And a lot of the card tonight is going to be primarily striking. And these Muay Thai fighters are some of the most vicious, just crazy. I think Muay Thai is the most gutsy, brutal, like intense sport. I mean, I think it puts mixed martial arts to shame personally, and I did mixed martial arts. I'd like to sit here and chest puff and say like, oh no, ours is the baddest. No, Muay Thai is the baddest. They are the baddest athletes on the planet. And they're going to put on a hell of a performance like they always do. And they put on, you guys, this was so exciting about one championship is they put on 4-ounce gloves. That's nuts, right? So we all identify Muay Thai, with the bigger gloves. No, in one championship, it's like this hybrid of martial arts meeting each other. So we have these Muay Thai athletes that are putting on tiny gloves and battling it out. So it makes it really exciting. And then I think I hope I sold you guys on Stamp Fairtex. She's something pretty awesome to watch. So if for no other reason, like she's epic, and you'll be watching history in the making if you just tune in and enjoy the card tonight, because it'll be fun and entertaining. And we all miss live sports, so give it a whirl. You guys can download the One Championship app. The content's free there, or YouTube, or BR Live if you're in the States. We got a lot of good stuff coming your way, so enjoy.
Absolutely. You heard it from Miesha Tate. She told you how to do it. No excuses now. It's going to be a banger of a card. Miesha, so great to talk to you. Thank you so much for the time. And I hope you can kind of spread your wings and travel outside Singapore in the near future.
I appreciate that. Take care and stay safe. And everybody else too, guys, stay safe, stay well, and enjoy the fights.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Hey guys, Sasha Platnikoff here, letting you know to tune in to SCMP Post Fight for all your weekly martial arts news.